But you and that article are trying to make a connection between a crime and a certain categorisation of people. Then you have to look at the proportions.
No. What I'm saying, here, let me read the article to people. More white people arrested over terrorism than any other ethnic group for second year in a row.
Percentage of white
Basically
people
now,
1 minute, Steve.
Steve, calm down, Steve. You know, keep cutting me. So here,
are you performing for the camera?
Of course.
Like you did last time.
So
like
you
did last time. Because last time I was speaking to you over there last year. I was speaking to you, and that's what you said. I told you, are you performing for the camera?
Yeah.
No, my point. Look, my
Cut
point.
the cameras then.
No,
Steve.
I don't mind without cameras. I don't mind.
Leave the camera.
I don't mind. I don't mind. Trust me. But no, my point here is look.
But when you suddenly arrive with a gang of people and cameras,
You know, Steve, what I'm saying, look,
I'm more than happy.
I can be
proportionately.
I am
very sure.
I can be snake as Tommy Robinson. By what we're doing, utilizing
that's
this.
Godwin's law, isn't it? How quickly you mentioned Tommy Robinson.
I can utilize.
Can we have a conversation without those words? Can we have a conversation without you saying Tommy Robinson?
Keep cutting me. What I'm trying to say here, alhamdulillah, we as a Muslim, Allah teach us to be just. And Allah told us in the Quran, do not let the hatred of people overtake your heart, overpower your heart, make you unjust. So we have to be just. I'm saying I can be snake as Tommy Robinson by utilizing this article.
You can't manage it, can you? You can't go 5 minutes without saying Tommy Robinson.
You cannot keep quiet.
It's like Tommy Robinson Tourette's.
No, because why? You're a guy
Tommy
supporting Tommy Robinson. So I'm showing you
You're
how snake
times,
this
mate.
person.
That's 3 times.
Let me show you how snake. So I can utilize this article to say why? To say what? To say, look,
should we look at the
white
numbers?
people,
Should we actually
English
go into
people,
the actual article and look at the numbers?
If you allow me to finish my point first,
you're bringing a headline.
Allow me to finish. I read it. No, I read it.
What's the article?
I read it. The article
The
about
Independent had an
far-right
article.
extremists.
I'll tell you
are
what.
kind more.
It was saying that there are more now. There are more white
there's no point
terrorists
talking,
being
because
charged
why-
and convicted in this country than non-white.
No, non-white.
But if you look at the percentages,
2 years before
if
that,
you
they were
look at the-
Asian.
if you look
Okay,
at-
but now what I'm saying
If you look
is
at the
allow me to finish my point.
percentages, the percentages of white people in this country is 84 or 80 something.
Regardless what is it, but they still
the
are committing
percentage
crimes.
of this crime
But it's terrorism
is
crime.
significantly smaller than 83%. So therefore, proportionally, and if anyone knows the first thing about any statistics, you look at the proportionality, not the absolute numbers.
So why is it proportion then?
No, wait. So therefore,
No, the proportion.
No.
He doesn't know.
No, if you look at the general population, and then you look at the specific population for this crime.
Wait, okay, see, that's what I think.
Yes.
Because why?
See, no one else.
What you do, Anwar, you allow him to divert from the main point. He keep the reason I keep mentioning Tommy Robinson because I will expose his double
is that
standard.
4 or 5?
Double standard.
Five.
I can utilize this article to say, look, white people are terrorists, but I'm not gonna say that because as a person who been brought
That
up with
includes white
Islamic
Muslims, though, doesn't it?
legislation.
That includes white Muslims.
No, you don't believe that.
Because they don't record it by religion, and I know that.
Allow me to
So that
finish.
includes white Muslims.
Allow me to finish.
That includes
Allow
white
me to
Muslims.
finish. Allow me to finish.
And we've got a lot of reverts doing this shit.
You can't hold your mouth, can you?
No, I can't.
Okay.
Neither
Allow
can
me
you.
to finish. No.
So that includes white Muslims.
Allow me to finish now.
Because it's only measuring
Allow me to-
ethnicity. That's only measuring ethnicity.
So now
if
they're
you're
saying
trying to
far
prove
right.
that
No,
it's
they're not.
not Muslims,
Because the far right,
that includes
they could,
white Muslims.
No, they're far right. Muslims
Just
are not
like
far right.
the white Muslim that
Anyway,
stabbed
just
the guy in Regent's
far right. He
Park
said
North.
far right. What are
Just
far
like
right?
the white guy,
Majority
the
far
white
right
Muslim
are
that
Tommy
attacked
Robinson
the
supporter,
guy in
and he's
Regent's
one
Park
of them.
North.
He's
He'll
a
be in that number.
Tommy Robinson
Oh, that's
supporter.
7 times.
So now,
That's
in 2 years,
he's mentioned
that's no
Tommy
conversation.
The white Muslim
I
that
thought you were a
attacked in
civilized
Regent's
person,
Park will
but
be
I
in
just
those
noticed
stats.
now, in front of
'cause
everyone,
you wanna
you're really
spout.
backward person. Take care of
Very
yourself.
good. Ad hominem abuse. Is that the level of your?
Shamsi,
I thought you were better. I thought you were better, Sham. I really thought you were better, Sham.
I thought you were better too, but you keep cutting me. And he's just.
Say his piece.
He said his piece.
He's even you cutting you. That's it.
He said his piece.
Anyway, I'll shift the
The Independent
My
said more
point here
white people are
that
committing
this
terrorism in
newspaper
Britain than
can
non-white
easily
people.
be misused.
A,
But
that
as a
includes
Muslim, I'm
white
not going to do that
Muslims. And
because
B,
I've been
we're a
living in
white
this country for
country in the
17
majority.
years, and I know the English people are very good people. So I'm not going to utilize this article to generalize every white person. As Tommy Robinson, which he supports, he
That's
does that.
8 times
But Tommy
he's
Robinson, he will bring an
Tommy
article against a Muslim,
This
and he
man's
says
a bit
every Muslim.
transfixed with Tommy
Understand?
Robinson. I
That's
don't
my
know
point.
why.
I established
Go on,
it.
get
Take
2
care of
more in.
yourself.
You've got to hit 10 before you go. Come on, 2 more Tommy Robinsons. You can do it.
There you go.
That wasn't the most productive of conversations, was it?
What's happened to you, Steve?
I give full and absolute credit to Shamsi for being one person that has very openly and outwardly called out the extremists.
And does that-
and the extremists that have come to Speaker's Corner. Because there are many other very public Dawa speakers that have not done that. So I absolutely give credit, full
Can you
credit
do
to
the same
Shamsi
for
for doing that.
Tommy
Tommy Robinson as well?
Can you
About
do the
what?
same?
About
he's,
what?
he's extremist as well.
He, what personally is an
Yeah,
extremist?
personally.
I don't believe he is.
Can I just give you an example? He went to Southall and
He's never been to Southall.
No, sorry. Bradford, sorry. So, sorry, Bradford, I think
I'll
it was.
tell you later.
Bradford. No, I'll give you two. He went to
Manchester, wasn't it? I think I know what you're going to
Yeah,
say.
I'll give
When
you-
he
I'll
was
give you
saying
one-
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
street and
Yes.
these houses are
So
full
go on,
of-
say that again. Go on, you tell me now.
So he was, I think it was in a Manchester area
Yeah, yeah.
somewhere. Might be, I forget precisely where.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Somewhere in
Predominantly
Manchester.
Muslim area.
And there'd been, at that point in time, I think there'd been a number of things that had come to light where there was a specific community in a specific area where they'd had some pretty dodgy,
Evil stuff.
dangerous, evil extremists.
stuff.
And he was doing a piece to camera and he said something along the lines of, these houses have
Combatants.
enemy combatants
Yeah,
in
yes,
them.
yes.
And he was talking after that specific scenario where what we just described.
But we know those houses, literally those houses, there's women, there's children, there's clearly non-combatants in there.
Listen.
And just another one.
I agree with the sentiment of a lot of what Tommy has done and said over the years. Doesn't mean I agree with every single word or every single style or method that he's
Yeah,
used.
but imagine-
because that would be dumb.
imagine
No
a person-
one person should hero worship someone
But you know the-
and everything that they
Yeah,
do.
but this rhetoric can also used by people that have the same agenda.
1 minute, Steve.
Hang on.
Wait.
There's people that say, well, I don't agree with what ISIS do, but I share their support for certain things. Okay, so this is very dangerous. Now, when you're not speaking, well, I can say, well, ISIS, they say that Bashar al-Assad is evil what he's doing, and that's the kind of the mentality that they get the youth with. Look what they're doing to your brothers, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's the same on the other side. We see it on the right as well. Look what they're doing to our young white girls. Look what they're doing, and it's the same rhetoric. And this rhetoric leads in one direction. Just another one. Sorry. Tommy Robinson went to Tower Hamlets dressed as a rabbi. Yeah, he came up dressed as a rabbi, and he said, "If there's
Do
one."
you know why he's dressed as a rabbi?
I don't know. Let me just finish.
Because he
let me just
wasn't
finish.
allowed in Tower Hamlets at that
That's the
point,
point.
and he
that's
went
the
under
point.
disguise
Yeah, that's
to get in.
fair enough. But he said, if there's one more attack in this country, which obviously we're quite on record vocal against any kind of Muslim terrorism or any terrorism in general, okay? He said if there's one more attack, Muslims up and down the country would feel the brunt of that. And we have members up and down the country. Now that implies, dog whistle politics, that implies that if there's another attack, all Muslims, indiscriminately, Muslims would feel the brunt of that. Now I don't put kind of right-wing extremism and label all Christians or all white Anglo-Saxon Protestants in the same.
Well, far right people don't necessarily only in those categories.
Well, the ones according to the figures now. Let's look at the figures. Most of it is.
I'm not sure if there have been any statistics of what the ethnicity of far right people.
He just showed you it's right-wing politics.
No, that was about people that have been convicted for terrorism.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about.
And it measured their ethnicity.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
They either don't measure or refuse to release any data for religious faith for any crime.
Yeah, but that's what we're
Which is
talking
part
about.
of the problem with the sex grooming.
No, well, it's clearly attributed to Islam when it's a sex.
Anyway,
grooming
can I
thing.
make one point in response?
Just on that. What do you think of that?
That precise statement I don't agree with, and it
Do you
wasn't
think it's
a good
extreme?
thing to say.
Do you think it's a bit extreme?
It wasn't a sensible thing to say.
All
It
Muslims-
was said in a moment of anger.
It's not sensible.
I would hope I would never
Yeah.
say that myself.
Do you think what Solomon would say if someone said, well, it's just not sensible?
It's what?
Suleiman and the other ones and the Anjam Chowdhury. Anjam Chowdhury is not sensible.
Well, that's obvious.
That's an understatement, isn't it?
Yes.
Exactly. So when you say that Tommy Robinson,
But again,
is
you
not sensible,
cannot compare the two of those two. In my view, you cannot compare those two individuals.
What's the end result? What's the end result
Tommy
of that
Robinson, right from the start of the early days of the EDL, he made it very, very clear, this is not for racists, this is not for Nazis. He spent years keeping the Nazis out because they wanted to take advantage of his movement.
Yeah. But he also wouldn't
from day one, the EDL's placard said black and white unite.
Yeah.
He made it clear right from the start, it wasn't anything to do with race whatsoever. He made that very clear. He also made it clear from the start and throughout his times that he never encouraged violence and that he did the opposite, that he discouraged violence. He said, idiots that go and pull a hijab off a Muslim woman are fucking idiots and they do harm. He's always gone out of his way to...
Have you ever heard Suleiman promote violence? These people are very smart with their
Are you
words.
standing up for Suleiman?
Hang on, no, not at all, not at all, not at all.
Like it.
What we're saying is that when we can smell BS, we call it out.
When you smell?
When we smell it.
Oh, BS.
Yes, when we can smell it. Why?
the BS?
Because
What's the BS that
so
you
when
can
Tommy
smell?
Robinson says we're not a violent party, but yeah, every protest that happens is violent. Hang on, when Tommy Robinson,
not
hang on,
true.
hang on,
That is absolutely not
When
true.
Tommy Robinson himself said that these people behind me are enemy
You know, the EDL existed for about 10 years. They had almost monthly demos, if not more frequently.
Let me
The
finish.
statement that they were all
why do you have to cut
violent
me to make your point?
is incorrect.
Why do you have to make your...
Because you're saying something is incorrect.
Then correct me
I
afterwards.
find it difficult not to jump in and point
Yeah,
that
that's
out.
wrong. You're a gentleman. You can correct me afterwards, yeah? You can correct me afterwards. So, we know that the leader himself, Tommy Robinson, is on record as saying, as referring to civilians so those people behind him were enemy combatants?
Steve, it's really looking like...
It was,
Nah, it's bad
was
for you, Steve.
compare it. I've already said
Yeah.
it wasn't a choice of words that I would
Yeah. You sound like Suleiman.
Okay,
You sound like Suleiman.
Suleiman.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You know we're not.
But why
We're just saying...
Why are you doing that?
No. We're saying you're both talking BS. Because you're talking the talk, but you're dancing around it. What the
Can I
end
make a
result...
point? Can I make one point now? You've
Last
been
point.
speaking
Last
for a long
point.
time.
No, I haven't. You cut me every time. Last point is that what's the end result of this speech? When Tommy Robinson says that Muslims up and down the country would feel the brunt of this, there's one more attack. The end result of that is that people would take violence.
What was the end result? Was the end result?
Violent attacks against Muslim women went up exponentially. Yeah, and you can't deny this.
Where's the evidence for that? That's Tell Mama statistics, the vast majority of which are hurty words on Twitter.
No, I never said Tell Mama for a
Well, so
start.
where's the source of evidence that attacks on Muslim women rocketed?
Okay,
These TV news channels.
I don't have them in my pocket. I don't have them.
Where are the statistics?
Okay, you know
individual
what?
news-
Point granted. You're a tangent.
No,
you want to
you
get on
have
that
to
one.
come up-
You
you
want to
have
get
to
on.
come
You
up
want to
with
get on that one. But as look,
No, because the same bullshit
that's
was
fine.
said about Brexit,
That's
and
fine.
it is bullshit.
That's fine. But as a Muslim,
No, it wasn't, mate.
Can I finish?
How long will it take?
2 more minutes, is that alright?
Steve,
Time it, yeah?
calm.
So what he said to me, he knows me from my area. Yeah, remember I'm saying West London. I don't want to say too much. Yeah, and he said to me, do you know what? Go now because we've already called the police. Yeah, we've called the police and said we've been attacked by Muslims. What did they do? They came over and tried to attack Muslims. Me and one other brother, we're stopping everybody, and he's come up to me and said this. One person gets punched. They tried to fight other people, but it got. Alhamdulillah, was managed to split up. So when you say, and they're EDL, they've got the EDL. Well, hang on.
How long ago
Well,
was this?
I must be a mug then. innit?
Approximately, how long ago?
This was years ago. 5 years. Yeah, something like that.
I
Maybe
will say,
even more.
one of the things I will say is that some of, I'm not exactly anti-Tommy. I think that he does have a point in the sort of campaigns that he had. However, there are some of the people that do follow him are quite aggressive. I've seen that. I've seen that firsthand myself. You can't.
But him himself, look at his words. Look at his words on camera. His words. It's not just him talking behind cameras with his mates. He's actually making these public domain knowledge. So he's saying that these people, these Muslims here, they are they're combatants.
No, he doesn't actually say that. So the one thing that I will defend Tommy, I would defend Tommy on this one point.
Do you know what I'm referring to?
He talks about Islam. He never talks about Muslims.
Do you know what I'm referring to?
Everybody was trying to conflate the two. There's a difference.
He doesn't know what I'm talking about, Steve. Maybe you should tell him, Steve.
Well, no, you can tell me. Sorry.
No, Steve will tell you. Steve will tell you. Steve knows it better.
Say it, Steve.
Is it now my response? Can I now?
Good, Steve-o.
Can I now have 10 minutes?
Yes.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Are you finished?
Yes. Go on.
Please.
There is an absolute obsession with Tommy Robinson in
Tell
this
him
part
first, Steve.
first.
Someone.
You can't. He's my leader. He's my leader. There is a spiritual leader. There is an absolute obsession, which tells me one thing. He clearly had a very, very big impact on people.
And a lot of it was misinformation.
Because to be honest, he's done fuck all in recent times. Yeah. At Speaker's Corner, week in, week out, Tommy Robinson.
Really?
So first of all, a bit of an obsession with it.
No, not really. I've never spoken to you about it
Tommy
once.
Robinson led the EDL for 9-10 years or something, and that came to an end a number of years ago. Yet still, it's all Tommy Robinson EDL, Tommy Robinson EDL. It's had nothing to do with the EDL. I'm not even sure whether the EDL even exists today. But certainly, he's got nothing to do with it. And the reason he's got nothing to do with it is he got fed up fighting the fascists and the Nazis and the racists who wanted to use his base. and he was fighting them from day one because they were trying their best. Because he did attract, the EDL did attract knuckle dragging through and through, outright fascist, racist, Nazi.
How did they do that? How did they do that?
That does not make him a knuckle dragging, fascist, far right racist.
How did they do that?
I don't believe he is at all. Look, there are Are you jumping in, or are you letting me the time?
I'm giving you your own medicine, mate. Yeah, with you definitely.
So just like some people do with Brexit, they say, look, there's a racist that supports Brexit, therefore Brexit is a racist subject. Bollocks it is. Just because a racist happens to agree with something that I agree with, or I do, or I vote for, does not make me, or the subject I'm voting for, racist or far right. That is guilt by association, and I'm sorry, I think that's pretty crap, pathetic, rubbish thing to do. Just because that man agrees with that man on that subject, it makes them the same through and through. It does not. Just because Tommy Robinson and the EDL attracts far-right racists, but you're going to let me go.
Yeah, of course. I'm giving you the rope, mate.
Him a racist.
Give you enough rope.
And you tried to make this point that it's a dog whistle, and what he's doing, you know, he opens up the door to attacks, etc., etc. Well, then presumably, so does Shamsi. Which we were both. This whole conversation started on me giving Shamsi credit for calling out the extremists.
On both sides.
How is that a different argument to say, oh, well, Shamsi's calling out the Muslim extremists that come to Speaker's Corner? That's a dog whistle to Islamophobia. That's a dog whistle to racism. How is it any different?
I'll tell you.
Tommy Robinson was talking the truth. The government, the media, the authorities have finally woken up to the fact that what Tommy... Even, imagine Imagine Nawaz, the entire what's the guy, the Muslim Pakistani guy with glasses that's involved, was he CPS, the head of the CPS, was he, I forget his name now. The entire world, the entire country, state authorities have now woken up to what Tommy Robinson was talking about 10 years ago.
We were talking about it before
10 years ago.
And we were talking about it
so
before that.
he wasn't lying. He was talking what is now widely accepted as fact.
I'll give you a fair go now.
So he's a liar.
I'll give you a fair go.
I've had a fraction of the time that you had.
Sorry.
I've had an absolute fraction. You've got
life.
no concept
That's
of time.
life.
Well, no, you're
That's
not.
life.
You're not controlling the argument. So
Listen.
I'll just carry on talking.
I'll let you talk. Let me just
This entire
go on, I'll let you finish.
lie of guilt by association, because there's a far right racist knuckle dragger that's attracted to that cause, makes that cause racist.
Yeah.
That is
Sounds like
rubbish.
everything you said.
And again, as I said earlier, there are some people that hero worship Tommy Robinson. There are some people that worship the ground that Tommy Robinson walks on. There are some people that think Tommy Robinson can do no wrong.
Okay.
I am not one of those people.
Okay, so you'll call it out, yeah?
Yes, as I have.
Okay.
I said those two examples that you gave. Now do you want me to explain one of the examples? It's the example that people always cite here when he was standing out in a certain community in an area of Manchester, I forget precisely where there had been some radical
Evil
terrorists
stuff,
identified. He did a piece to camera where he said these houses have enemy combatants in them.
Yeah.
I said to you earlier, and that
What's
they
the word he
always
used?
cite of
What was
all
the word
the
he used?
thousands of quotes that Tommy Robinson gave.
No, he used
they
a word for it.
always
That was
use
just,
that. They always use that one quote.
What did you describe
I've already
that word
said
as?
to enemy combatants.
No. What did you describe? You said that was a bit.
I said I wouldn't choose those words.
Like a wrong choice of words.
Yes. Not the enemy combatants, because he was right. There were some people in those houses.
No, just
who were enemy combatants. But he said it in a way.
Wow.
Well, do you not agree with that?
Look at this.
Do you
Look
not
at
agree with
this.
this?
Look at this.
Do you don't think there were any enemy combatants?
If you're gonna
do you think there were enemy combatants?
We're talking about blood, yeah? You just made 2 points. Allow me to address them. Yeah. One of them, you said he's not racist. You know, a person that drives a taxi.
See, I'm now giving you some chance.
Thank you.
I should have carried on ranting.
Yeah, because I'm gonna cut your flow now.
It's all cutting, isn't it? It's all about cutting.
1 minute.
Listen. So, Tommy Robinson himself, what does he call a taxi driver? You know, 4 wheels drives a taxi. Didn't you see that one? He calls him a packy. He calls him a packy. Is a packy racist terminology? You said he's not racist.
Why is it that people from Pakistan can use the word Paki but nobody else can?
Listen, that's a whole different conversation.
Have I not just seconds ago explained to you? I do not hero worship him. I do not say he can do no
But don't say
wrong.
he's not racist if he calls people Pakis. So is it okay to call people Pakis?
Well, Saeed of what's the channel of Saeed that comes
Yeah.
in?
Oh, it's Star, yeah.
He's on film.
Yeah. Let me
vile
go on record as saying that Islam is free from that and the Muslims must.
Well, Saeed isn't.
Well,
I don't see Saeed being castigated by the Muslim
our
population.
stance
that
is
sees
clear.
this corner.
I'm on record now. What he said is wrong. If he said any racist language, it is wrong. It is prohibited for us as Muslims based upon our want to get closer to God. We hate racism. When I've said it there now, I'll put it out there. When Tommy Robinson calls a taxi driver a Paki, is that not racist?
I'm not aware of that quote. How long do you guys spend watching Tommy Robinson? I think you spend longer than I do. In the last week, how many hours of Tommy Robinson have you watched?
Steve, don't flatter yourself. Don't flatter yourself. I don't watch you. I don't watch Tommy Robinson.
They all say that, and they say,
I
I saw you say last week.
Wait. No.
Shamsi, you finished 20 minutes ago.
Come on, listen.
I finished too, that's what I should say.
So listen. So that's the first one. You said he's not
I
racist.
do appreciate senses of humour.
So that's the
I
first one.
don't believe he is racist.
So that's the
no.
first one. To use terminology like Paki, that's not racist. If he said it, is it racist?
Do you think just the mentioning of that word? So
That's fine. That's fine.
you just said it yourself. You just said it the word yourself.
Yeah, but I'm not using it as a.
So context is important.
Of course, absolutely.
But not for him.
But when you're phoning a cab,
But
what's the
not for
context?
him.
What's the context when you're phoning a cab? Come on, Steve. Look at the second one. The second one, you said he doesn't promote violence.
Yes.
I said to you already what he said in Tower Hamlets when he came dressed as a rabbi and said, if there's one more attack, and by the way, we're on record again for the 100th time.
Stop playing for the camera.
I have to. Because
Why? This is live. This is real life.
No, because when we...
Quiet, Steve.
Listen to this.
Listen to this. Look, 1, 2,
No.
3, 4.
Don't divert.
Now you smashed up his microphone.
Don't divert, because when you said, why are you paying for
You
the
haven't got Abu
cameras...
Qasim's microphone on, have you? No, he's gone, isn't
Yeah.
he?
That's a cheap shot, because you know we're not
It was
with him.
awful though, wasn't
Listen,
it?
of course.
Can we get
listen,
on to that
listen,
bloody
listen,
subject? That's what we
listen,
started
listen,
on.
listen,
That's what we started
listen.
on.
You said play for the cameras. We said we have to put it... I'm saying I have to put it out there. So look, you said we're playing for the cameras, but I said we have to be out there.
1, 2,
Steve, allow it, man.
Steve, it's getting hot in here.
I'm
On
very
a cold
popular,
day,
aren't
it's
I?
getting hot. Is that why you have to cut me? Look at this. Steve,
You know, I'd be
Let me
happy for
finish.
you and me to walk over there.
That's what I want. Now, I don't mind if we're going. I swear to God.
Like a
Honestly.
intellectually.
No. Listen. Steve. Why we put it out on record is so when it comes down to it and people ask, do Muslims speak against it? We can
Speak
say
against what?
terrorism, extremism.
Why did Paul Williams get
No,
castigated
Steve.
Why did Paul Williams get...
Are you diverting?
No!
Are you diverting?
Stop pointing out the
And I'll address
insincerity.
it. And I'll address it.
Talking
And I'll
about
address
the
it. And I'll address it. And I'll address it. Yeah.
You've lost it.
Why we put it out on camera, Steve. Why we put it out on camera is so when it comes down to it, and people are asked, maybe they're in a pub in London Bridge, maybe they're asked, do Muslims condemn it? So that somebody with a bit of balls and a bit of backbone can say, you know what, they do, and they don't crumble when it comes down to it.
Why did Paul Williams get...
Why did
treated
you
the
not
way
say
he
it?
is?
Why did you not
Why
say
did-
that there are Muslims when you know they
were
were?
things I didn't say.
Yeah, you said
How long was
your
that?
mate
How
was
long
there.
was it?
Your
How
mate
long
was there
was it?
saying there's
How
no. We
long
never
was
heard
it?
any Muslim. This is the same rhetoric that gets these knuckleheads, as you call them, to join EDL. You said there's no Muslims. There's no.
They now join Patriotic Alternative.
Can't
That's
let me
where
finish.
they go now.
You know what?
Well, then
I
get
think it's
to date.
clear.
Get to date with the reality of far-right fascism.
because we can't have a goldfish
It's not
mentality.
the EDL, it's the Patriotic Alternative.
I'm gonna slow it down. You can go at your own pace. Now we can't have a goldfish
Not
mentality.
keep up with my pace.
No, you're too fast. We can't have a goldfish mentality. We can't say we have to disassociate ourselves from what happened. This was how many? This was a few months ago, Steve. When you stood next to your man in the pub.
My man.
Whatever.
In the boozer.
In the boozer with your man, with your friend, and he said, we never hear Muslims speaking out against this, and you were there nodding like that. Yeah, it's true.
Even though you know,
Well,
you
watching
guys-
it closely,
And
weren't
I swear to God, Steve, I've never, God's my witness, I've never watched you in a full video, and that was the only one I watched because I thought he
That
might.
good one?
Because Paul, I speak to Paul Williams. Paul Williams.
Good, because
Yeah.
a lot of Muslims don't.
That's another subject, but I do.
Should we go there?
That's another subject, but I do. I'm putting it on record.
Good,
But,
good.
but look at this. Look at this.
You're going up in my estimation.
Listen, just stick to the point.
I wasn't saying you were low.
Listen to my point. He showed me where you've already tweeted that. Hang on, I commend Shamsi. Now he showed me this. I'm doing my own thing, but he showed me this.
Looking at my tweets now.
No, he showed me this. Did you not hear it?
Via
Catch
Paul.
up. Via
Via
Paul,
Paul,
yes.
yeah.
So now I thought, all right, that's commendable. He said it on record. Now, surely he's going to mention it in this live stream, and this is the only one I've ever watched of you.
I'm so sorry.
Now
I
you
will
did it.
apologise.
Now you did it. Now you
I'm
did it.
very
Listen, I'm not in need of that.
I'm sorry I didn't mention.
Give him a cuddle, Steve.
Calm down.
You are the exception. Well, there's another one. You were the exception.
Yeah.
You were the exception, and you were the good
You
exception.
can ask
and I
Paul.
should have mentioned
Yeah,
it.
tell us
So
the weaknesses. You can't
next time I'm in the pub with Richard Inman, I'll mention it.
Yeah, no, I'm not in need of that. What you have to do, utilize the platform
and
and
be
be consistent.
consistent.
It wasn't my plan. It wasn't my plan.
Regardless
It wasn't my plan.
Utilize your
But also, I
my
want to say
voice.
something.
Yes,
I
be
want to see
consistent.
information here. There's a time. Even I made a video against Tommy Robinson. He was in one place. Yeah, he stopped a girl, Muslim
I
girl.
knew
Yeah,
you'd hit 10.
Hear me out, please. Thank you. Yeah, so he stopped this young girl, and he noticed that this young girl, she's not well educated about Islam. So he told her there's a verse in the Quran, and this verse in the Quran talking about those who spread the mischief in the land, about the highway robbers.
Yeah.
And he told her that Ibn Kathir said that this verse speak about the non-Muslim that you should cut off their hands and their legs. Even though Ibn Kathir never mentioned that, and even to show you how ignorant. Hear me out, Steve. Hear me out.
He
To
said
show
you're a
you-
liar.
No, he said he's a liar. This is
Who?
what he said. Tommy Robinson is a
Tommy
liar.
Robinson's lying.
10. I knew I'd get 10 out of it.
Be serious, be honest, you know. There's a matter of serious, you know.
Yeah,
Seriously, man.
People get attacked for this.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying this, so what he did, he said Ibn Kathir is a Saudi scholar, even though Ibn Kathir came way before Saudi state, 700
Even
years or more.
existed.
So how someone like me is telling me I'm Algerian person, Algeria just came way after me. That doesn't make any sense. So the point here is, you're a person, hopefully you have a sound reasoning. You should not be
Hopefully.
supporting someone like Tommy Robinson because he's a person, he's a liar. I'm not gonna say whatever he says is falsehood. Yes, some
And I
points he
won't
has.
say whatever he says is truth.
No, you don't even support someone like him, to be honest. Regardless,
You see,
doesn't mean
life is more nuanced than that. That's what I keep
No,
my
no, no, no,
mantra.
no, no.
You can agree with someone on one point and disagree with them on another
But you will
point.
not support
We
him.
can agree on
But you
some
won't
stuff.
support
and
you
We
will
can
not support him and
disagree
promote
on
him.
other
No,
stuff.
what I'm saying, Steve, yeah, you will
What
not
does
support.
that mean? What does that mean?
You will not
can
support
support
him or promote him. You don't promote someone like that. For example,
You wanted me to promote you in the pub with Richard
I didn't say
Inman.
that. No, he was talking. I said that. I didn't ask you. I'm
All
not
you,
needing
all you
that
have
at
to
all.
do,
I'm
you
not
don't even have to
needing
mention
that at
names.
all.
All you have to do is say, you know what, there are
I'm
Muslims
doing
that do
I'm doing that.
it. All you have to do is for the Muslims, just say, yeah, there are Muslims that do it. You don't need to mention any names. There are Muslims that do it. Just speak
Yes.
the truth. That's all we ask. That's fair enough.
Be honest, because yes, we agree in some points he mentioned, but I'm not gonna promote him. Like for example, what's his name? Ajam Chowdhury. Ajam Chowdhury is an evil man, but not everything he says is false and is a lie.
He says pray 5 times a day.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna have to
believe
promote him because I agree with him in some aspects. You see what I'm saying? So be consistent, bro. You're silent. I like it. This is the first time I see you silent.
Let's go before you start speaking. Let's go.
Anyway, man, like God, you see truth. Bro. Do you believe in God, by the way?
You know I don't. Surely you know I don't. I think
You
Christianity
can have
is
this one off
rubbish.
camera.
Yeah, let's give that
No,
one.
no. Let's do it on camera. Look, I've said so many times, and I'm sure I've said it on camera as well. What I have to keep telling myself is that many of the Muslims that come to Speaker's Corner do not represent Islam. They do not represent humanity. They don't represent anything. Because there are some very, and have been, some incredibly bad representatives of
I agree, but
Islam.
not many. But I don't say many.
Really?
Yeah, I don't say about many.
We might disagree
But,
on numbers,
yeah,
but
maybe,
we-
but
we-
I agree.
so.
There's some of them, even they don't like me, even
And-
they believe.
and-
Oh, hear me out.
and-
They believe I work for CIA. They believe I work for CIA.
No, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
And they probably hate you more than they hate
Yeah,
me.
yes. So you might, you know.
But again, I'll give credit where it's due. You do that. You do that. You
Use them to
call them
me.
out. I'm not sure if you.
But I work for Allah.
I'm
not
not
for
sure if
CIA.
you. I'm not sure if you always
Inshallah.
name names though when you do that.
Huh?
I'm not sure if you always name names. I don't know.
I do
Maybe you
mention names. When it's needed,
no, I
mention the
mentioned
names.
some names now.
I don't need to use. You
Ah,
utilize
you
it to mention
see,
names.
there is an
Yeah.
apprehension.
So are you gonna-
There is an
no.
apprehension.
No.
We'll do it now.
Check
Remind me.
Wait. Are you gonna?
Name one,
No.
who have you called out?
No.
Who have you
No,
called
would
out?
After I'm trying to fight you about
Have you called out dick pic? Have you called out dick pic? Tawi? Have you called him?
Mohammed
Mohammed Tawi. No, come on, let's be specific.
I don't see him.
Have some balls. Have some balls.
If you're talking about extremism, extremism is one thing. As for any
There's
immorality,
extremism and then bad behaviour.
yeah, there's bad behaviour.
But every person gonna make bad
We're not
behavior.
going to bring out any
Or
allegations
promote
that
it.
anyone said. We're not going to.
Okay, well, let's focus on the extremism.
No, before
Let's
that,
call
before
out
that.
the extremism.
No, before that, are you gonna
Name
put
some
out on Tommy
extremism.
Robinson?
I've said my piece already on that.
No, I haven't heard this. Are you gonna put out on him?
I don't hero worship him. I don't think everything that comes out of his mouth is right or good or even sensible.
That's the word you use, sensible.
Yeah.
I said good, right, sensible.
Yeah. Earlier, I
Can't
earlier,
tell
I
me
was
this
looking for a word. You said
You're
sensible.
coming to the wrong guy.
Hang on. When you say that Muslims up and down the country would feel the brunt if there's any other.
said that.
He said that in Tower Hamlets. Yeah. If he said that, Steve. Yeah. If he said that.
He did say that.
Yeah.
Or something close to
What
that.
did he
Would you if there's one more
there's
attack,
another attack.
if there's another attack in UK, Muslims up and down the country would bear the brunt of
He's
of
extremist,
EDL.
man.
Yeah,
Call him
I'm saying
out
he's
for it.
extreme.
He's
You're saying it's not
extremist.
sensible.
Is it extremist?
Wow.
See how we play with
Imagine if you
words.
said Anjem Chowdhury, he's not extreme, but he's just not sensible.
Yeah.
No, we call him both out. He's
Yeah.
extreme and he's
Yeah,
extreme.
yeah. There were these guys. There were these guys that would go
I don't
after
think
Mansour
that's
and
the way.
Hashim,
Yeah.
even though Mansour and Hashim condemn
Yeah.
terrorism, but they still try to go after them. But you are here, but try to defend and justify Tommy Robinson, who is an extremist.
Just drop
That's
him.
it. Take care of yourself. Drop him.
You are all obsessed with it. aren't you?
I'm not obsessed. Alhamdulillah, I'm married. I have kids.
look,
I have my brothers here. My Muslim brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask you a question?
No, I'll take care of
You're
yourself.
married and you
I
have
have to go
kids.
pray,
How do
yes.
you get away with staying here all day on a Sunday?
I said, come on, this is.
This is you need a lesson for this one. This is a lesson. You need a lesson. You need to come to the lesson to learn this one.
Listen to them. Wait, are you getting lashes for that?
Eh?
Are you getting lashes for
You get
that?
domestic violence at home.
It's not every day.
Alhamdulillah. May Allah guide you. Pray to Allah guide you.
May he indeed.
There you go, Steve-O. Well done, son.
Cut.